Let's start by giving all praises to the Most High, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, and the Holy Spirit, who taught us his truth. Honors to the brethren that's laboring doing the work to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, which will be 1/3 of us Israelites, according to scripture, who will be the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, who will be returning back to the Most High, seeking their salvation by hearing and believing his word during these final moments. So we back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. This is going to be World War III update number 52. World War III update number 52, titled China Got America at Checkmate. So not only, do China got America at checkmate, this ain't nothing new. China been had America at checkmate, going back 10, 15, 20 years. Not to mention Russia, North Korea, the Middle East, Iran, Iraq, everybody else that America is making enemies with. Hey, but right now, the top, enemy behind the scenes for America is China. This place is finished. China got America at checkmate and had America at checkmate for many years now. So we're going to watch some off-grid desert farming with Paul. He's going to explain why China got America at checkmate. This place is finished. It's already underwater.
This is our first article. I hope you can see it on your screen right now. We are going to document everything that we are talking about tonight. You will have no doubt in your mind that after this video is up that we told you the truth, the 100% truth tonight. So this is our first article. Why are Chinese buying land near military bases? Why are the Chinese buying land near military bases, U.S. military bases? $1 billion worth of farmland encircling U.S. military bases in California has recently been purchased by a mysterious company. China is buying land around many U.S. military installations in the mid and southwest Texas. Technically, this land is being bought by Flannery Associates. The origin of this company are attracting official attention and speculations abound. Does Flannery Associates have Chinese roots? Why is it interested in vast areas of land in the United States, and how might this impact the real estate market? The Chinese military-linked spy balloon crossing U.S. airspace has ignited a renewed push by U.S. lawmakers to restrict Chinese ownership of American farmland. This dramatic episode saw the surveillance airship traversing the nation, however, over U.S. military installations and eventually being shot down by a U.S. fighter jet off the coast of South Carolina in February 2023. According to NBC 11, purchases by the Chinese entities have been reported to the U.S. Department of Agriculture from January the 1st, 2022 through June the 30th, 2023. What is alarming is that these land purchases occur in the proximity to U.S. military bases. So let's go on down. In a recent development that has sent ripples throughout both political and military circles, U.S. officials have initiated an inquiry into Flannery Associates, the entity behind a substantial land acquisition surrounding California's Travis Air Force Base. The sprawling piece of farmland spanning nearly 21,000 hectares has raised alarm bells, which authorities owing to its strategic proximity to the military base. while the lawyers of the Flannery Associates have consistently affirmed its ownership, U.S. ownership, dismissing the notion of foreign influence. Government agencies have confirmed their scrutiny is focused on the company's ownership, the source of its money, and the reason for its land purchases. So let's go to another article. I actually have a video here if I can find it.
So before we continue, pretty much to summarize it, China has been purchasing billions of dollars of land here in America close to U.S. military bases. That sums it up. So again, China has been purchasing billions of dollars of land near U.S. military bases. So let's continue.
I'm trying to locate this this video here. Hold on.
I'm going to pause it while he looked for it or mute it. So again, China is purchasing billions of dollars of land in America near U.S. military bases. And then at the same time, you got millions of Chinese and other people coming across the U.S.-Mexico border at the south. And you also got many more starting to come through the northern border up there near Canada. So all these Chinese coming north and south into America, and at the same time, they buying all this land near U.S. military bases. So China got America at a checkmate, but it get worse. Let's continue.
Where China has purchased land right up to Travis Air Force Base, folks. They're right around the perimeter of Travis Air Force Base. What they are doing right now, they are doing their homework. China, the government of China is setting itself up to position military assets right next to our military bases, so when they get the order, they can attack the military bases, invade them, and take over some of our military equipment. So let me get this on the screen for you guys.
So you heard that. They positioning them, they buying land near U.S. military bases, so when they get orders and attack, they can take over these military bases. So the military bases in America gonna actually be Chinese military bases once they start attacking us. Because one thing you gotta keep in mind, America is shipping all of its soldiers overseas to Europe. They're doing war drills over there, preparing for a direct war with China. They all over there in the Middle East and in the Red Sea, fighting the so-called Middle Easterns, trying to protect those merchant ships at sea. So all these American soldiers outside of the U.S. anyway, leaving U.S. military bases in America unoccupied. While you got, Chinese entities purchasing land near these military bases, they're going to take them over. They're going to be Chinese military bases. So all this American military equipment and weaponry and vehicles, this going to be in the hands of the Chinese. American soldiers going to be outnumbered in their own country. Once these Chinese and these other nations of people who are enemies with America get active.
Let me get this next article and show you the actual video. This was reported recently about an $800 million purchase of land right next to Travis Air Force Base in California.
Updates the news from the ABC 7 News I team tonight. The mysterious company that's purchased nearly $1 billion worth of real estate near Travis Air Force Base is prompting new federal legislation tonight.
The I team has been digging into Flannery Associates and its nearly 55,000-acre land acquisition in Solano County.
And tonight, ABC 7 News 19 reporter Stephanie Sierra is here with the latest from federal lawmakers about this. Stephanie.
Yes, this new legislation already in the works, in part because serious questions continue circulating about Flannery Associates and what the company plans to do with land bordering 3 sides of Travis. Tonight, we're learning more about these acquisitions and the need for stronger transparency. It's described as the most massive yet mysterious land purchase encroaching one of the most critical military bases in the U.S., and no one knows why.
This mysterious entity is unwilling to just...
So again, one of the most critical, one of the most important military bases in America, Chinese is buying land all around it.
To anyone, local, state, or federal, what it is they're doing and why they're doing it.
Since 2018, Flannery Associates purchased nearly 55,000 acres of farmland in Solano County, and the I-Team has confirmed the company has yet to pull any permits to signal new development or change of land use. So for years now, the land acquired, which is nearly double the size of San Francisco, just sits there, and its future remains unknown.
You would think that they would want to be cooperative in their work. I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
The mystery surrounding such a critical military base is what prompted Congressman Mike Thompson to introduce bipartisan legislation to enhance investigations of any land purchase near military bases, national security sites, and critical infrastructure.
Currently, there's a process by which any investment can be scrutinized for any type of foreign participation. And we learned that the process and the laws that govern that have limitations.
That process is led by the Department of Treasury's Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S. Last year, a Chinese manufacturing company purchased land near a military base in North Dakota, raising national security concerns. But the committee claimed it was unable to review, let alone block the transaction, because the land was outside the scope of their jurisdiction.
So what we're trying to do is expand that to give the federal agencies more ability, better ability to be able to look into these purchases.
How?
All right, so the real question is, if they're concerned with Chinese buying land near military bases, who's selling them this land? Who did the Chinese buy it from? They bought it from somebody, so who sold them this land? It was Esau, the damn devil.
So that short video, that's just one land purchase of farmland around U.S. military bases, folks. You know, you can't go to China and the American government or Americans, they can't buy land around Chinese military bases. But in America, we can. They can. And that's what they've been doing the last 20 or 30 years. They are setting up a Red Dawn situation in America. And this is not the only one. This should be very concerning. And I'm showing you, I'm going to document by document, video by video, that a Red Dawn situation will occur in America. Will be taken over in the next.
So, yeah, you know, the question is, who's selling this land to the Chinese? Because we don't own none of the land. It's Esau that owned all this land. So he the one that's selling it. So the question is why he's selling it to the Chinese. But we gonna jump to the next part of the video. Let me find it. 29:39. All right, just about there.
I've got one about them purchasing 140,000 acres in Texas. So we've all heard about the border crisis with the illegal aliens coming on through the border in Texas. Well, folks, there's a Chinese billionaire that was a military. He was in the Chinese military. He purchased 140,000 acres right on the border with Mexico and Texas, right in that area. 140,000 acres. They are bringing, it is estimated, 1,000 to 10,000 Chinese military men across the border every single month that come into the United States. They are placing them in homes, on different properties. They are getting ready. They are building up their invasion force right now. So let me show you that information.
So yeah, they're placing these illegal immigrants, throughout the cities, in airports, school gyms, colleges. They're getting public housing, hotels, vacant buildings in the cities. But you got to remember, the Chinese is buying all this land. So they also, could be placing people in this land that they done bought, that China has bought. But let's continue.
I want to show you that we're not giving you fake information. This is all open source information. You can Google this information yourself. Why a secretive Chinese billionaire bought 140,000 acres of land in Texas. This is the guy right here. This is the Chinese billionaire right here. The inside story of Sun Guyan's plan for a wind farm in the Lone Star State and how it incurred the wrath of U.S. lawmakers and environmentalists, becoming a flashpoint in U.S.-China relations. On June the 7th, Texas Governor Greg Abbott sat down at a desk in the state capitol and, flanked by a half-dozen lawmakers, put pen to paper for a ceremonial signing of the Lone Star's Infrastructure Protection Act. As far as I know, this is the first law of its kind by any state in the United States of America. But folks, this land has already been purchased. So in 2016, a company owned by Xinjiang-based real estate tycoon, Chinese tycoon Sun Guoyan, had spent an estimated $110 million buying up land in Texas's Val Verde County. Located right on the Mexican border, Val Verde is home to about 50,000 people, and the small town of Del Rio, a family-owned hunting ranches, and Laughlin Air Force Base, a training ground for military pilots. In less than 2 years, the Chinese businessman's son bought up roughly 140,000 acres in the country throughout subsidiaries that he controls. He set aside 15,000 of the 140,000 for his company GH America Energy to oversee the construction of a wind farm that could feed into Texas' electricity grid.
So yeah, again, they purchasing all this land in Texas, in various places, at the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas. So what? They got rights to this land. They own this land. That's why they coming over here. We thought they didn't have nowhere to go. No, they got places to go because they own it.
Here is the land that he bought. You can see the map of Texas right here. The red area right here is the 140,000 acres right on the Mexican border that they can funnel in these Chinese military men coming in from Mexico for the invasion of America.
So that's why that Chinese billionaire bought this land in Texas at the U.S.-Mexico border. That's why the Chinese are able to come through the border. And we seen videos of Border Patrol, not doing nothing to these Chinese men that's coming in. It's because they coming through on their own property, owned by their government. So they got more rights to that land than the federal agents at the border. So that's why you see videos of the Border Patrol not doing nothing when all these Chinese men coming through. It's because they really got rights to that land. And that was the purpose of him, to buy this, to sneak Chinese men through the U.S.-Mexico border into Texas.
Now I have so much information. I cannot present it all to you in this one video, or we would be here 4 or 5 hours. but I'm going to leave all of these articles in the description box so you can go back and fact check this information. So according to this information, only 15,000 of these 140,000 acres is designated to a wind farm, but this is very close to Laughlin Air Force Base, folks.
And not to mention this land that they purchased at the U.S.-Texas, border with Mexico is by another Air Force base. So Air Force, Navy, Army, military bases. Chinese gonna take control of that stuff.
Is close to the military base in Texas, and we also have another Chinese military purchase of land in North Dakota, right next to another military base. So let me show you this real quick, and then we'll move on to some more information. But I'm trying to document this information for you that China is purchasing large amounts of U.S. real estate. So when these military-age men come into the country across the Mexican and Canadian border, they can hide them on these huge tracts of land and also residential real estate, folks. China is the largest buyer of U.S. homes in the world from a foreign nation.
So that's the thing, a lot of these buildings and houses, China buying that stuff up. That's why these illegal immigrants, they got places they can go to. This stuff is all orchestrated. Not to mention all this land they buying. They can hide who knows what on this land. And again, the path they take crossing the border, they own that strip of land. That's why they're able to come through here like that. And the Border Patrol can't do nothing about it.
If this doesn't alarm you, I don't know what will. Chinese companies' purchase of North Dakota farmland raises national security concerns in Washington. So let's go on down. At first glance, the largely barren, windswept tract of land just north of Grand Forks, North Dakota, seems to be an unlikely location for international espionage. There's not much on the more than 300-acre patch of prime Dakota farmland right now other than dirt and tall grasses bordered by highways and light industrial facilities on the outskirts of the city. The nearest neighbor includes a crop production company, a truck, trailer service outfit, Patio World, which sells landscaping supplies for suburban backyards. But when three North Dakotans who own the parcels of land here sold them for millions of dollars this spring, the transaction raised alarm bells as far as Washington, D.C. Grand Forks Air Force Base. That's because the buyer of the land was a Chinese company, the Fufeng Group, based in Shandong, China, and the property is just 20 minutes down the road from Grand Forks U.S. Air Force Base, home to some of the nation's most sensitive military drone technology.
So them Chinese gonna let them drones loose on the American people.
Base is also home to the new Space Networking Center, which is a North Dakota senator said handles the backbone of all U.S. military communications around the globe. Did you hear what I said? The base is home to the new Space Networking Center, which North Dakota senator said is the backbone of all U.S. military communications around the globe. So China is systematically purchasing large amounts of land around our U.S. military bases. Why are they doing that, folks? Because they are going to invade our country in the near future. There is going to be a Red Dawn situation. There's nothing that we can do about it.
So that was the point. So we're going to hit a few precepts. All right, so we're going to start off with the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 10, verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but the prudence of them which are in authority this city shall be inhabited. But the focus is the first part of the verse. An unwise king destroyeth his people. Who's that unwise king? The U.S. president, the U.S. government. Why? They destroyed their people through many ways. The doctrines and philosophies being westernized, the food, the GMOs, the toxic chemicals in the food, the chemtrails, polluting the water. You know, that's one way he's destroying the people. But it don't stop there. He's selling all this land to Chinese buyers. These folks say they concerned about all the land that China is buying. Well, who sold it to them? It was Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And he know what the Chinese coming here to do. To set up shop, to take over U.S. military bases, to mow down the people. That's, why they giving them this land strategically around U.S. military bases at the U.S.-Mexico border. This stuff is all orchestrated. None of it is random. So pretty much giving them the keys to take over America. So yeah, Esau Edom sold out his own people, sold out his own country. So yeah, unwise king destroyeth his people. The hokey pokey, the pandemic, the RFID microchip, the MOTB, the mark of the beast. And just yesterday, I believe I did a lesson on it. The Neuralink brain chip, somebody was able to control a computer mouse using his mind. So you got the mark of the beast being prepared. Meanwhile, America is being invaded and about to be taken down. All this stuff gonna converge at one point, and it's all gonna pop off simultaneously. So yeah, unwise king destroyed his people. And on top of all of that, America is gonna be nuked. That's not gonna be random. That's gonna be orchestrated. While the heads of the New World Order, who's orchestrating all this stuff, they're gonna be in their underground bunkers, which they all run into right now. And then Revelation 18:8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. Yeah, her plague's gonna come in one day. That's all of a sudden. Why would that be? A cyber attack. China, Russia, Iran, according to America, these countries are doing numerous cyber attacks daily against America to take out critical infrastructure, the power grid, the cell phone and internet towers, shutting down the water treatment plants throughout the city, the power grid, no gas station, no running water, no electricity. That's critical U.S. infrastructure. Even the banking sector, to shut down the banks and all of that. That's why the plague's gonna come in one day. That cyber attack that disrupts American life, it's gonna cause all kinds of hell to break loose. That's why there's gonna be death, mourning, and famine. And not to mention, just today, every cell phone provider lost service in America. And another thing that happened that we seen later on in the day was that pharmacies was disrupted. I don't know the details, but a lot of pharmacies they had some kind of outage too. I'm guessing orders and prescriptions weren't getting filled. I don't know the details, but hey, the pharmacies being disrupted, that's gonna contribute to the death. That's gonna contribute to mourning. People are just gonna be mourning because ain't nothing working. So yeah, these plagues gonna come in one day. So when the Chinese, they already invading this place strategically. Once they get active and start killing American people, along with these other countries that's sending men over here, it's not going to just be an invasion and they attacking. That's going to be in conjunction with a cyber attack. All of our stuff going to stop working, but all of their stuff going to be working. Not to mention, they're going to have U.S. government drone technology, military bases occupied by Chinese soldiers, military equipment, tanks, jet fighters. That's going to be in the possession of the Chinese to be used against the American people and against us Israelites. And then, on top of all that, it's going to be burned with nuclear fire at the end of the day. And we're going to come over here to Jeremiah 50:9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. What makes you a great nation? When you got nuclear weapons. China, North Korea, Iran, Russia, many more. They all over here. And they shall set themselves in array against her. Who is this her? Lady Liberty, America. Set themselves in array. That means place themselves in position for battle. They battle ready. They taking position like pieces on a chessboard. From thence she shall be taken. So yeah, they putting themselves in array right now. How? Buying up land near U.S. military bases, Air Force bases, naval bases. Buying land at the U.S.-Mexico border so they can sneak their way into America and be kept in residential areas in the cities, to be kept and hidden on these large lots of land that they've been purchasing. So that's themselves setting them, so that's them countries setting themselves in array against America. They setting up shop here in America. From thence she shall be taken. So this place is already taken. It's already finished. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. What's them arrows? It ranges from everything to a bullet, to an RPG, to a nuclear missile. What's the mighty expert man? The military age man that's coming across the border right now. So yeah, America is already at checkmate. This place finished. It's only a matter of time. So till next time, Shalom.